Imagine you're sitting at a restaurant. The music is low, the food is perfect, and the conversation is flowing. Everything is fine until you say it. That one wrong word, that one awkward joke, and instantly the room goes cold. You see the shift in their eyes. You feel the sudden heavy silence in the air. Your heart drops into your stomach. But here's the twist. The worst part didn't happen at that table. The real disaster started 3 hours later. When you got home, turned off the lights, and stared at the ceiling. Your brain turned into a courtroom. You became the prosecutor, the judge, and the executioner, and the trial went on for 3 straight days. Every single hour, you replayed those 5 seconds. Why did I say that? Why am I like this? I completely ruined everything. But notice what you were actually doing. You weren't trying to fix the mistake. You were punishing yourself for making it. And this is where almost everyone gets it wrong. We believe a massive, invisible lie that if we beat ourselves up enough, we can somehow rewrite history. Self-punishment feels like accountability, but it's actually an escape room with no exit. Think about those 72 hours after that dinner. Did shivering with guilt fix the relationship? Did calling yourself an idiot change what happened? No. It just kept you paralyzed in the dark. It gets worse. While you were busy torturing yourself, something unexpected happened. The actual problem, the misunderstanding at the table, was just sitting there, growing. Because self-punishment takes up so much energy that you have absolutely nothing left to actually fix what you broke. We trap ourselves in this loop because we think being miserable proves we care. But pain is not progress. Guilt is not a strategy. So how do you break the cycle before the trial inside your head destroys your life? To find the way out, we have to look closely at what happened on night number 2. When a single voice inside your head changed the entire game. And it's not the voice you think. On that second night, as you stared at the ceiling, 2 different voices fought for your attention. The first voice was loud, aggressive, and toxic. It's the voice of shame. And it didn't say, "You made a mistake." It whispered, "You are a mistake." This is where the trap closes. When you confuse what you did with who you are, your brain goes into survival mode. You can't fix a broken identity, you can only hide it. So instead of picking up the phone to fix the mess from that dinner, you hide, you avoid, you isolate. But then there's the second voice, the voice of real accountability. It doesn't scream and it doesn't insult you. It looks at the exact same dinner, the exact same mistake, and says something completely different. You messed up. Now what are we going to do about it? Shame locks you in the past. Accountability hands you the keys to the future. But here's what changed everything. The moment you stop attacking yourself, your brain finally has room to solve the problem. That's when real accountability begins. Whenever something goes wrong, don't let your emotions take control. Follow a system instead, a system that would have saved you from those 3 days of overthinking. The first step is simple. Acknowledge. Say, "I messed up." Nothing more, nothing less. Don't exaggerate it. Don't minimize it. Just tell yourself the truth without turning one mistake into your entire identity. But that's only half the battle. If you stop at acknowledgement, you're just standing next to a broken car. You need to know exactly how to fix the engine. And that brings us to the next stage of the system, the part where you stop being the victim of your own thoughts and start becoming a detective. Next comes analyze. Instead of replaying the whole night, ask yourself one question: what exactly went wrong? Be specific. Was it poor planning, bad communication, a rushed decision? You can't fix a problem you haven't identified. Then comes adjust. Don't try to rebuild your entire life overnight. Just ask, what's the smallest change that makes this mistake less likely to happen again? You don't need a complete transformation. You just need to patch the leak. Small improvements repeated consistently always beat dramatic promises. Finally, advance. Take one action. Send the email. Make the call. Start the conversation. Move. Because every minute spent moving forward is one less minute trapped inside your own head. Progress is the fastest way out of regret. Imagine going back to that restaurant. If you had used these 4 steps, acknowledge, analyze, adjust, advance, that 3-day mental torture would have been over in 15 minutes. Then something unexpected happened. You realize it still hurts. Even after taking action, the guilt refuses to leave the room. This is where high performers use a secret weapon, a rule designed for the brutal truth that human beings are not robots. You can't just turn off pain, but you can give it a strict deadline. That leads to another rule, one of the most powerful habits high performers have, the 24-hour rule. You're allowed to feel disappointed. You're allowed to be frustrated. You're even allowed to cry, but don't live there forever. Give yourself 24 hours. Process what happened. Learn everything you can from it. Then let yesterday stay in yesterday. Because every extra hour you spend replaying yesterday is an hour you steal from tomorrow. Recovery has a deadline. If you don't set a deadline, your brain will drag that restaurant dinner into next week, next month, and next year. But this is where almost everyone hits a wall. There's one last mistake that ruins good decisions, making them while you're emotionally overwhelmed. When your emotions are running the show, you're basically drunk on feelings, and emotional people make decisions they would never make when they're calm. Before you quit your job, before you end the relationship, before you send that message, pause. Ask yourself one question. Am I making this decision because I'm calm or because I'm reacting? Most urgency isn't real. If a decision still makes sense tomorrow, it was probably the right one. If it only made sense in the heat of the moment, it probably wasn't. You will fail. Everyone does. The question isn't whether you'll make mistakes. The question is whether you'll recover like a champion or keep punishing yourself like everyone else.